All right, Shalom. This is Hara 1 by Nyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakar Kodash, Ma'amaf. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Akwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. I'm going to this topic dealing with this Easter bullshit, which we know goes back to the pagan names, Ishtar, Osirte, all these weird names, man. Basically going back to the Queen of Heaven, which goes back to Babylon and Assyria, all right? So this is a complex topic, so it has to be broken up in pieces, dealing with what they call Good Friday. Then you have to go into the Easter Bunny and all this pagan idolatry, and the fact that our people are worshiping it or honoring that day. Got their children chasing damn eggs at the Babylonian custom, where they used to take the eggs and dip them in blood of the children and then hold them up to their idols. So there's a lot of pagan stories and folklore behind it, man. So it's all witchcraft and wickedness. So, but with that, I want to get to this topic to open up the edification on this topic dealing with Easter. So let's start with the word that's in the Bible, Easter, okay? Because it's not supposed to be there. We all know that. Those that are in the know, we know it's not supposed to be in there. All right. Now, what's supposed to be there is the word Pascha or Pasak, which would be the Passover. All right. Now you got these fake Jews, Amalek, I'll say. They celebrate it and they say, yeah, this is we're celebrating our Easter Pesach. It's like, they're two different things, man. On the Passover, it's dealing with the deliverance of Israel from Egypt, man, out of bondage. And how the Lord passed over certain of the children of Israel at that time that believed in their household. All right, wherever the blood was at, on their doorposts. Whoever did what the Lord commanded. And the Lord sent the death angel, and he delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt. And he gave us laws, statutes, and commandments, and birthed us as a nation. So that's what that represents, the Passover. And it's a solemn assembly, and it's around this time, around April. We already kept the Passover, but it was around March or April. All right. So what they're honoring by keeping Easter, they're praising and honoring the spring equinox. They're worshiping the seasons, the sun, moon, and stars and shit, and idols on this day. So let's get into scripture, because you see you type in the word Easter and look what comes up. The bunny. Damn poor bunny, man. They've been used as the mascot of their pagan ass demonic holiday, man. All right. And they got people chasing eggs, and the bunny has nothing to do with eggs, man. The bunny don't know what the hell that is. And they paint the eggs, and all of this is a pagan, Babylonian, Assyrian custom that our people have taken on even since those times. Even during the times of Jeremiah, our people were the wicked of our nation were worshiping the Queen of Heaven, which is a pagan idol and a vain thing, man. All right, it doesn't exist. So, but yeah, see. Now, if you do a little research, what does it go back to? The bunny. The bunny symbol predates what they would call Christianity, so it predates, the word Christian shouldn't exist anyway, so it predates, let's say 300 AD. It predates Yahushua 4 BC to 37, 38 AD. This goes all the way back to Babylon, man. Right? 627 BC to 540 or 539 BC, all up to the Persian rule. So it predates, it goes all the way back, even to the Assyrian Empire, which was destroyed in 612 BC, all right, the fall of Nineveh. So yeah, so this goes way back, man, and possibly to Egypt with Horus and all that mess. Then you go back further than that to ancient Babylon. My goodness, during the time of Abraham. All right. Now it says the bunny symbol predates those times I just named. There is no definitive or origin of the symbolism, because it goes way back. It's what they call a rabbit hole. It goes deep. But one of the earliest origins comes from the pagan tradition when it symbolized fertility. All right. It later became a German folklore. See, them Germans, like vocab. Basically Amalek or Teeman. The German folklore that made its way into the United States in the late 18th century. All right, so it made its way into America by these Germans around the 1800s. You see that? And our people was in slavery. All right, and as we know, the term Easter goes back to what? It goes back to Ishtar, which just means star. So they're worshiping, honoring the sun, moon, and stars on these days, man. All right, they got all these witches and warlocks out here and pagans. They're all literally howling at the damn moon on these days and praying to the sun, moon, and stars, the creation of the Most High, Yahweh. They're honoring the creation more than the creator. And they're doing it on the left-hand side, which is wickedness. All right? So, and that's what our people are doing. One second, let me get the scripture. That's right. The Lord told us we're not supposed to do that. This is Deuteronomy 4:19. It says, unless thou lift up thine eyes, right? Or Deuteronomy 4:18, 17, 16, sheesh. All right. Lest you corrupt yourselves, and this is what the Lord told us through Moses on Mount Horeb. All right. He said, lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female. All right. And that's what people do. They take the sun, moon, and stars, and then they make images and characters out of them. You feel me? And they begin to worship them. That's like somebody worshiping your damn watch and creating a character called the Visionary. His name is Timeless. See, they create characters like superheroes, or what they would call mythology, folklore. and that's all witchcraft. And they create idols behind it. And really, they just worshiping the sun, moon, and stars. All right. So the Lord told us, He said, "What? Lest ye corrupt yourselves, and make you any graven images, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, and the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground," you damn bunnies as well, "the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth." You know, they worship Dagon, which was like a fish head. And they had the Egyptians worship a damn dog head deity, idol. Sheesh, man. "Unless thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldst be driven to worship them, man, and serve them, which Yahweh thy power have divided unto all nations under the whole heaven." So he set that up for what? Times and seasons. And it was just like a watch, to be able to tell the time. You know, so he set that up for harvest time and all that upon the earth, and to give light upon the earth, but not to be worshipped. All right. So yeah, so I'm gonna read this real quick. It says here. So I guess the focus right now would be that damn Easter bunny. That's the target in this first video. So the Easter was originally the celebration of Ishtar. Okay, that means star, and that's what our people are honoring on this day, whether they know it or not. When they have their dirty ass barbecues, eating pork and shrimp and lobster and all this abominable food, even if they're eating lamb on this day, celebrating that holiday, they still being wicked. All right, we supposed to celebrate the Passover, the Pesach, which means what? The Lord passed over our people. We're supposed to honor that day to the best of our ability, and we're supposed to keep it as a Sabbath and a solemn assembly. You know, but what do people do? They have Easter egg hunts. You see Jake running around chasing some damn eggs. I seen somebody say so one lady said she put a Vienna sausage in her damn Easter in her eggshells. See, these corporations, they make money off of Jake's wickedness. You know, and it's the biggest times of year that keeps America, the nation of consumers, buying and selling. Keep the dollar like it's moving. All right, every time holidays come around, what should be called wicked days, folly days, that's when everybody go to spending that money for the children. But what did the Lord say, man? You know, he said what? He said, when the child asks for a fish, shall you give him a stone? You know, and that's spiritual as well. Let me get this real quick. Oh, my bad, I typed in the wrong word. Here you go. This is Proverbs 22:6. "Train up a child in the way he should go, or she, and when he is old, he will not depart," man. And that's why a lot of these people have not departed from it, and they're training their children in that same madness, and got them eating the same wicked foods, giving them the same diseases, same high blood pressure, diabetes, same spiritual sickness as well. Going to these same churches, getting these pastors rich, paying the same government in that same way. Going to these stores, getting these companies rich on these holidays. You know what I mean? So, and condemning themselves in the process, like on Halloween and all these pagan, blasphemous days, man, that they celebrations. So it says what? Easter was originally the celebration of Ishtar, the Assyrian and Babylonian goddess of fertility and sex. That's why I said Assyrian and Babylonian, because the Babylonians at that time were Assyrians and a collection of what they would call Amorites or Nubians, and some of the Elamites as well. All right, they were known as Chaldeans. You know, originally people of the Levant that moved. A lot of those people moved to that area in southern Babylon, I think it would call it, southern Chaldea. It could be northern Chaldea. I could be wrong. You know, you flip the map around. And 627 BC, Nebuchadnezzar, the Assyrian, he broke off from the royal family of the Assyrians, and he went against them in war and set up a political separation, just like America, Democrats and Republic kind of vibe. But he set up his own idol worship as well. That's what they was building their country on, the idol worship. You know, whether they were going to worship the moon as this title or as that title. There was a difference between Marduk and I think Nebu. That's what it calls him, Nebuchadnezzar and all that. Anyway, so he established Babylon. And he got a lot of those Amorite nations, those Canaanite nations and Elamite nations to come get up under him, and a lot of the Assyrians. And they established their own setup called Babylon. And then later it took over, okay, through Nebuchadnezzar, his son, in 605 BC. So that's why it's called the Assyrian and Babylonian, and it's spoken about in Daniel 7 as well. Goddess of fertility, right? Which she's not a goddess at all. It's a goddamn idol, like trash, like a toilet. Her symbol, like the egg and the bunny, which goes back to Tammuz as well. Just like the cross. The T is for Tammuz, which were the children of son of Nimrod. All right, that's what it really goes back to. You know, second millennium BC. Yep, Tower of Babel and all that. Was that Genesis 4? I think it was. Genesis. Let's see something real quick. Yep. Oh, Genesis 11. Kind of Salakia. All right. So yeah, that was around the 3rd century, 3rd millennium BC. All right, 3200 BC, around the time of Nimrod. Excuse me. So now it says here, or did you actually think eggs and bunnies had anything to do with resurrection? Come on with it. It has nothing to do with Yahweh-Shai's resurrection, man. That's what they teach in these churches. You know, that he died on Friday and rose on Sunday, which wouldn't even be correct according to the biblical calendar. That's why I say you got to do multiple lessons on it, because it said he was, according to the prophecy of Jonah, Yahweh-Shai was going to be the belly of hell, which would be the grave or the tomb, for 3 days and 3 nights, and that happened according to the biblical calendar. You know, they killed him around 3 in the afternoon, going into the evening. Then he died, and he was in the grave by nighttime. You know, they took his body down, and he was in the grave for 3 nights. And then right when the 3rd night, going into daylight, which would be dawn of that same day, the 3rd day, at the crack of dawn, right when the sun was about to peak over the horizon, that's when Yahweh-Shai was rose from the dead, from the grave. All right, so I might do a lesson on that as well, just to show a calendar, that to draw some things out. But yeah, man, so they got all of that wrong, and it has nothing to do with the resurrection of Yahweh-Shai, man. All right, the damn eggs and fertility and shit. After Constantine decided to Christianize the empire, right, and he did that, I think he came into power around 312 AD. All right, 315, he set up Sunday worship and all that. He basically said he set Christianity as the foundational religion of Constantinople. All right, which was like a branch off of the Roman Empire after the Western Roman Empire fell. All right, and that started the Byzantine Empire, which lasted 1,000 years. Part of the Byzantine Empire. So, he actually established it, right, in Byzantium. But our people were ruling for 1,000 years, though. All right, starting from the first century, AD. So now, Constantine, who was a Jake, he decided to set up Christianity, which was basically at that time everybody was going off. They had their own forms of it. All right, during the time of Paul and Barnabas, they started calling us Christians in Antioch. Where it's like they continued to teach, and it was like, yeah, look at those Christians over there. Look at those followers of Yahushua. Mashiachim, the anointed ones. Akkadium, something like that. So, but in this language, they say Christian or Krishna and all that madness. And they created something called Christendom. And that's when you have Constantine, where he called all the people that believed in their own different angles of it and adding in their orthodoxy, churches, and Catholic mindset. And, and he had that big meeting dealing with scripture in John, where it deals with the Holy Trinity, and there's no such thing as a Holy Trinity. It's only Yahweh, His Son, and Spirit of His Son. Spirit of righteousness and the truth is on His Son, the Holy Spirit. All right, so that's a whole nother topic as well. So all this was established by this guy Constantine when he got into power. All right, so he decided to Christianize the empire. Easter was changed to represent the Messiah. All right, because originally Easter was just a pagan holiday. So when he decided to Christianize it, he was letting everybody, because he was a pagan too, and his mom, I forgot her name. It's been so long since I talked about her at all, but his mother basically ran him, man. She was 100% a Diana worshiper, which they call Wonder Woman today. But it goes back to a pagan idol called Diana. And she was 100% worshiper of paganism, man. All right, and I think her name Hannah. I can't remember her name, but she had Constantine all into that paganism, and so he didn't care. He just was like, all right, I'm make Christianity so I can control everything under this, and bring everybody under this, and brought into a more religious mindset, just like the Catholic Church used. And he basically said, yeah, everybody can still keep their customs. So he said, we're going to change that story at Easter and make it about the Messiah of the Bible. So everybody can worship together. And these fools still following after that under the order of the Council of Nicaea, the Nicene Creed, which happened, I think, in 325 AD. That was the first Council of Nicaea, over in Nicaea, okay? Where they discussed that whole debate dealing with the Holy Trinity and all these different topics. And the Nicene Creed is the foundational contract, or that's like the Constitution for these churches today in America and around the world. They go by the Council of Nicaea, Nicene Creed. And in that Nicene Creed, it establishes Easter to be part of the Bible. Which that is not true, man. All right, those are two different customs, man. All right, Easter was changed to represent the Messiah, but as its roots, Easter, which is how you pronounce Ishtar, is all about celebrating fertility and sex. Look at that, man. So that's what they celebrate, just like the Roman. There's another pagan statue of that damn Ishtar mess. Look at the bunny. Look at that madness, man. All right, as you see here, the owls, you know. But pronounced, this is Ishtar, which is pronounced Easter in English. Really, it should be called Nehushtan, because the word Nehushtan just means a brass object. That's what Hezekiah called him, Nehushtan. And he destroyed the brass serpent. He just said it's just a brass object. That's what these things are, you know? So yeah, you see all that shit look like eggs and breasts and shit. Weird, man. Fertility, idolatry. It's all pagan. But yet and still, you got Jake up in these churches. Look at Easter bunny and eggs, shocking. Pin on swinging, see? That's why the Lord called our people wild grapes. You know, so anywhere our people are in captivity, we begin to pick up their ways and follow their idolatry and abominations, and teaching it to the children. Look at that, man. Damn tooth fairy and Satan claws and all this madness, dressing us up in them tight ass what you call them shits? Fiberglass filling shoes on your damn feet, sliding all over the damn floor. Had some of us out there playing basketball in them damn hard ass church shoes and shit. Going through all that madness, man. And they put these things in our hands. You know? And it passes on from generation to generation. All right, if I have time on this phone, I'm gonna try to read this chapter or most of it. All right, in the context. So let's get into it, man. This is Acts chapter 12, verse 1. Now that it says, now about that time Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church. Now the ones that he was vexing were the ones that's called followers of Yahushua. All right, the church. Now the ones that were called out. All right, that's what the word church goes back to. Just like today, the church are the ones that's called out from amongst the world, man. All right. And the king that is talking about Herod here is talking about Herod Agrippa. All right. I think he ruled from 41 to 44 when he died, I think. I could be wrong as far as the start of his rulership, but I think he died around 44 AD, right after he persecuted Peter, and he showed up in that shy-light outfit, all glow, shiny suit man outfit, like P. Diddy. He came out there in that outfit, and he was shining, man, had his gold shining, man, like Sakari, you know. And he didn't give praise to the Lord, as the people would honor him, call him an angel, which, you know, because that's why the Lord said, what have ye to do to take on my customs and my laws into thy mouth? It had nothing to do with them. All right, that's what the Herodians always thought to do, become Jews. And they can't, just like vocab. All right, you'll never be an Israelite if you're not of that lineage. All right, there's not 12, no, there's not 13 gates. There's 12 gates into the kingdom of heaven. Now it says here, so Herod the Edomite, his forefather, his grandfather, before Herod the Great, was named Antipater the Edomite, the Idumean. All right, these were Edomites. So Herod Agrippa, the Lord sent the angel to smite him and killed him at that moment where he was getting praised by the world, just like the Lord is going to smite Esau in these times. And now about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church. So this was around 41 and 42 AD, all right, around the time he killed James. And then he killed, Peter died, I would say, around 44 AD, all right? And they lie about the story of his death, so. And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. See that? So these were the prophets, and some of those prophets are back. Those prophets are back here today to get the reward for being persecuted and killed after the manner of our leader Yahushua. The Lord didn't forget, our sacrifice. And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword, man. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, see, 2/3 loved it. And that's what the Roman Empire was all about. They didn't want any uprisings from the Jews. So that's why Pontius Pilate, he kept saying, "Hey, Agrippa, Herod, I'm gonna send Herod." I think that was Antipas at that time. But he kept saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna send Yahushua to you, man. Send the Messiah to you. Send this man." They called him just a man at that time. He was saying, "I'm sending this Messiah to you." And he was trying to wipe his hands of it because he didn't want to. Herod was like, "Yo, you got to deal with that. You're over that area, dealing with Judea and all that. So you're over that area. You got to deal with that. You got to calm them down, appease them." That's why he was like, "Yeah, so who y'all want us to let go? Barabbas, I think it was, or this man Yahushua." And they chose to let the other guy go and crucify Yahushua. All right. So usually it would take weeks for that crucifixion process, but instead they did it all in a matter of a couple days. Judged them, flung them with whips and stuff, and beat them, and crucified them. So, man, all right, this is very serious what these people are doing today, man, disrespecting the Lord. And now it says Herod the Edomite stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church, and he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. So he's still going to have to pay for that in slavery. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. You see that, man? So he took Peter, but Peter was delivered. He was delivered by the angel, all right, around 44 AD. So he died a little after that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Peter died around 44 AD. If I said that, Salaki. All right. Because they had a major council. I think around 54, 55 AD. It was the first ecumenical, really, world council that they had, dealing with the fact of circumcision or not. All right. So and Peter was there. So, all right. But yeah. So now let's get into this. Then were the days. So they grabbed Peter. Then were the days of unleavened bread, and when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison. So he put Peter in prison, and the angel delivered him later on in this verse. And after Peter got out of that prison through the spiritual power and miracles of the Lord sending the angel, that's when Herod was destroyed after that. And it's written in history that he died of a stomach issue, and in the Bible it says the Lord smote him in his bowels. It says what? Then were the days of unleavened bread. And what does unleavened bread start on? It starts on the night of the Passover. All right? And you can read about that in Leviticus. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison right? And you're supposed to on feast of unleavened bread. You're supposed to get all the leaven out of your house before the night of the Passover, and for 7 days you eat nothing with leaven. So what does that have to do with bunnies and shit? You don't hear nobody talking about that. You know, you don't see nobody eating bitter herbs and lamb, eating it with the loins girded. That's why the Lord told us to rehearse the righteous acts, man. It creates a separation between us and them. And when he had apprehended, he put him in prison. They put Peter in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him. All right, so they put levels, the maximum security prison at that time, 4 quaternions, man. So 2 outside, 1 behind in the entrance, 2 guarding the door. Who knows, like different levels of it. All right, and they had him in chains. So they, all right, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. So what is it supposed to say there? It's saying that the unleavened bread was still going on. But these demons, they put Easter in the Bible. So it clearly said, then were the days of unleavened bread. So he was saying after 7 days of unleavened bread, that's when he was going to what? He was going to bring him forth out in front of the people. Because if he'd have did it during the unleavened bread, it would have caused what? An uproar of the people. And that would have got him in trouble, Herod, with the Roman Empire. All right? So that's why he said after Passover, he was going to do it. See, right here next to it, it says what? Passover. You click on the word Easter, and it clearly is not supposed to be there. It says, my bad, it's lucky. Easter, right? And right here it says Passover, man. The meal, the day, the festival, or the special sacrifices connected with it, which would be the lamb, all right, the Paschal sacrifice, the Pesach, which was accustomed to be offered for the people's deliverance of old from Egypt. The Passover lamb, the Pesach lamb. The lamb the Israelites were accustomed to slay and eat on the 14th day of the month Nisan, all right? That's what the Persians called it, Nisan. They changed the calendar. It's really called Abib, right? Abiyabah. I think either the Babylonians or the Persians, I think it was the Persians, they the ones that called it Nisan, all right? So, but it's really supposed to be called Abiyabah, which would be Abib, or spring. All right, so on the 14th day of that month, which was the first, basically beginning of the year for us, New Year, the first month of the year, in memory of the day on which their fathers preparing to depart from Egypt were bidden by the Most High Yahweh to slay and eat a lamb, which represents Yahushua in these times. All right, and to sprinkle their doorposts with his blood, and today that blood covers the elect. That the destroying angel, Yahushua, seeing the blood, might pass over their dwellings. Yahushua being crucified is likened to the slain Passover lamb. All right, the Passover supper, the Pesach feast, the Pesach of the Passover extended from the 14th to the 20th of the month Abiyabah, or what they call Nisan. So yeah, man, that's what's supposed to be there. So they put Easter here. And now people read that and they say, yeah, you're supposed to follow Easter. See, it's in the Bible. And if you look at it, it's 2 different celebrations that were added in by Constantine. All right. So, all right. So yeah, man, they're dealing with these damn idols, man. This is Romans 1:19. Because that which may be known of the Most High is manifest in them, talking about the elect. For Yahweh have showed it unto them, people like Peter, all right, James, John. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse, man. You know? So nobody got any excuse. Because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as God, man. All right, and that's why people have done. It goes back to ancient times. When we knew the Lord, the wicked of our nation, they didn't glorify the Lord as the God, the only living and true power. They followed the ways of the Babylonians and Assyrians. All right, and those Canaanites. So, and it says, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened, man. So see that? So they people lost the light, and they remained in the congregation of the dead. So they're walking in darkness as they're celebrating. All right. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools and changed. See, they professing themselves to be wise, man. Like I know it, like they know every damn thing. We said what? Especially these Christians, man, these churches. And changed the glory of the uncorruptible Yahweh into an image made like unto corruptible man, and into birds and four-footed beasts like rabbits and creeping things, and try to make them to a woman and all that too. Wherefore Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts. All right, so that's just it. All right, verse 25, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. It's deep, man. All right, so I'm gonna end it here, man, just for in respect of time and everything on this phone and phone memory. I'll continue this Yahweh Ratazah on the next lesson. Romans 1, actually 2 Peter, let me get that real quick. 2 Peter 1 and 16. All right, for we have not followed cunningly devised fables, man. These were cunningly put in place. All right, devised fables, that's what it is, something made up. It's just a fable, it's vanity. All right, imaginations of man that do not know the Most High, the Godhead, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. When we made known unto you the power and coming of our Lord Yahushai, but were eyewitnesses of his majesty. All right, so that's just it, man. So the ones in this truth, we have not followed cunningly devised fables, okay? So, but we were in darkness. We were born in America. We were born into sin. But the Lord said what? He was going to light our candle. 2 Peter 1 and 19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy. See that? Whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, man, until the day dawn, the kingdom, and the day star arise in your heart, right? Which will be almost 3,000 years since Yahushua, dealing with the calendar being all mixed up. So when that kingdom begins to dawn, just like the sun dawned over the morning, and Yahushua rose, he's going to rise again. And this time he's going to raise up the nation of Israel as well, all right? So, Amanda there, man, I guess the focus on this one was just say, fuck this damn Easter bunny.